Hello everyone, this is Steven from the Even Steven channel, and today we're talking about the Hogue Monogrip, which is a replacement grip for the Ruger SP101. So I have a video on the Ruger SP101, and I told people I really wasn't all that thrilled with it. It seems like kind of a compromise gun, and it seems like a little bit big for a carry gun, a little too small for a target gun. And again, just kind of a compromise gun that didn't really do anything all that great, although it wasn't a terrible gun. I mean, we'll safety check there. The double action is actually pretty good. Single action is pretty good. Actually, single action is, I didn't really say it. It's pretty nice. Though it has a lot of cast parts. This frame itself is some kind of forging or casting. It's not all that well machined in certain places. And I said I really wasn't all that thrilled with the gun. And a couple of people said, hey, you should really get that Hogue Monogrip. It makes it feel like a much nicer shooting gun. So I went on the Hogue website, and the Hogue website is pretty terrible in that it really doesn't describe what the Hogue Monogrip is, what it does, what it's good for. It was really kind of blank. So, hey, here's the grip. You want it? So despite that, I still ordered one. I still got one. Hogue Monogrip revolver stock. Unique snap-on mounting attachment for the Ruger SP101 5-shot revolver. So why would I want this? Let's see. Improved score. Monogrip features add up to improved scores, comfortable shooting, dependable service. That's not a feature. Original one-piece mono design. Side screw. Okay. Eliminates side screws and loose shifting panels, which there's a thing. Hogue rubber monogrip feels soft and resilient in your hands, yet are molded with a reinforcement insert directly engaging with the gun frame for a solid grip to frame fit. No modifications to your gun necessary, easy to install. Now maybe just have some directions on how to install it, but alright, so we're going to install the grip. I guess the first thing we'll do is take off these grips. And typically what I do when I do these kinds of videos is I just do it on camera for the first time. I cheated just a little bit. I actually took these grips off before just so I knew what to do to save everyone a little bit of time. If you ever see something like Forgotten Weapons, if you see a Forgotten Weapons video, before Ian actually starts filming that video, he will take the guns apart and then put them back together just so he knows what to expect. And again, I'm kind of cheating and I'm kind of doing the same thing. So to get this apart, I have to take the screw out, pry off the side panels. So these side panels can be replaced with wood, which would just be a little bit nicer. And I said before, I didn't really care for this because the screw goes right here, and the screw tends to kind of protrude out just a little bit, and I didn't care for that either. So taking out the two side panels, reveal this pin, and this pin has to be pushed out, and that pin actually holds the grip in place. So this is a pretty solid setup where the side panels are holding this pin, and this pin holds the grip in place, so the grip can't come out as long as that pin's in there. And that is the factory grip. And like I was saying before, if you take a close look at this machining, and I'm not sure if I'm showing well the glare, it's just not a very well finished gun. This is some kind of, this probably is a cast. This frame is probably a cast part, and just kind of machined and finished where it needs to be. And they didn't bother machining or finishing it, here. So that is the old grip. Let's take a look at the new grip. Oh, there are assembly instructions. Okay. Wait, where is that? Where's the actual instructions? Okay. Okay, these do not seem to be specific for this model. Whew. These are not specific to this model. Alright, we will continue. I was trying to save a little bit of time by doing part of this ahead of time. So let's compare the two grips, by the way. So this does look to be a little bit bigger, just as thick. I said this was a little thicker. So I think what we're going for with this grip is we're actually going for more of a target gun. Instead of having more of a carry gun, we're going a little bigger, more of a target gun. And honestly, that does feel pretty good in my hand. That does feel pretty good. I do like that. It does feel, well, I'm missing the side panels, but this does feel a little bit better in my hand. I think I'll do like a little more. So we'll see. We'll keep going. So this needs to attach here somehow. So we're actually kind of extending the whole grip. So I'm going to take this screw out. Let's see how much flex we got here. Hopefully this, let's see, how am I going to get this inside? So I'm going to take this whole thing out. Put this inside here. Okay, and I got to, I don't think it matters which direction this goes into, which is smart. This goes around here. I'm going to try to pry it kind of. Okay, both sides. I think we're doing good. I'm going to insert this on here. Let's take a look inside. Looks like we got some, let me see the flashlight in there. Makes it a little better. Looks like we got some polymer inserts. Alright, so this is a coating of rubber on the outside, and inside looks like we got a bunch of plastic. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that as I put this grip in, this is going to kind of guide this in the right spot. I'm pretty sure it's got to stick it in there. Okay. Looks like it's kind of a channel here. Make sure it kind of goes in that channel. Okay, perfect. Perfect. It's hanging up a little bit here, so I'm going to try to spread that out a little bit. Might actually. Okay, we got a tight fit. Trying not to damage anything. Okay. I'm going to try to push up a little bit on this end. I'm going to try to push up on the rubber grips, not push up on the frame. Okay, that was a little bit of a tight fit. Lastly, we got the screw going in here. This should have gone into place. It looks like we're doing good. So this looks a lot like the standard grips that I got on my Ruger GP100. This looks very similar to what was on those guns. Now am I tightening the screw? Is this going anywhere? I just want to make sure that this is actually threading into something. I'm going to try to see if I can get that lined up like this. A little more. I was trying to get this screw lined up with the seam here. And we have the Ruger SP101 with the Hogue Monogrip. You know, honestly, that does feel a little better in my hand. I do like that, so we're going more for a little more of a target gun as opposed to a carry gun. I think this palm swell here is a little thicker than the regular gun, although about the same. But I do like this. I do like this. I do think it feels better. People were saying, I think at least 2 or 3 people said to put this on. and I am liking it so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm probably going to go shooting tomorrow, try out these grips. Do like that. That feels nice. Basically, this is actually more like my Ruger GP100, just a shrunk down Ruger GP100. So I'm going to take this to the range tomorrow. I'm going to try this out. And we'll see if this seems like a better shooting gun with those new grips. Because, you know, the grips on a revolver really can make or break a revolver. Sometimes if you have wood grips, it might not seem very pleasant. But if you put like a nice set of rubber grips on it, it's a much more pleasant shooting gun. And we'll see if this Ruger SP101, just want to take a look inside there, is a nicer shooting gun with these new grips on. So do a little cutaway, and then when I come back, I'll be right back. I'll be back in the range. Okay, bye everyone. And we're back. It's been a couple days, and today couldn't go shooting for a couple days, but today I was able to go shooting at my local range, and I put a little bit of ammo through this gun. Maybe about a box, 38 special, and just a few rounds, just like one cylinder, 5 shots of this 357 Magnum ammo. This New Republic ammo, I think this is made in Europe, is actually pretty good stuff. I've used a few different kinds. I think I've had 38 special, 9mm, 357 Magnum. It's all worked pretty well. I'm not going to look around on it too much, but I think it's made somewhere in the European Republic. Yeah. I'm sorry, European Union. Apologize. Overall, it's pretty good. This is just some random holster I was testing out, Relentless Tactical. It's made for the SP101, but I believe that it's really made for the 2-inch model, and it's kind of just... I think this is probably not a good idea. This is probably not a good idea. I mean, I guess it works, but I was just kind of testing it out as an inside the waistband holster, and I think I need something closed off here, maybe. Didn't seem like the best fit. But it was relatively cheap, something for me to fool around with and try out. Now, do these Hogue grips make a difference? And honestly, I'll say they do. I think they do actually make this gun more shootable, or easier to shoot for me. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Maybe the texture of the grip, it's got a nice grippy rubber surface to it. Maybe it fits my hand just a little bit better. It does feel nice in my hand. There might be something to, you know, where the grip is and where your finger is. And is it here? Is it here? You know, shooting this double action, I kind of have to put my finger here. Just the amount of force needed to make this go off. I really lack the strength to go like this. This is hard. I mean, not impossible, but I think typically when I shoot double action, I'm going to have to put my finger in a lot more than maybe you typically want in modern shooting, but... And the gun did seem a little bit easier to shoot, and I did seem to have better point of aim shots. Like my point of aim wasn't off so much. I think when I was shooting the gun with the regular grips, I think, what was it? I was going really, really right for some reason. And this is 38 special, 7 yards. I'm doing very short distances. I'm aiming here, and we're kind of getting this. So that's pretty good. Okay. This is single action. I'm aiming here. For whatever reason, I'm going a little more right, a little more up. 7 yards, double action again. They're all just going a little bit low, but the right and the left is a much better for me personally. This is 10 yards, double action. And that's still, you know, combat accurate. A smaller revolver, 10 yards, double action, you know, that's not bad. This is 357 Magnum. I did 1 cylinder of 357 Magnum. Double action, 7 yards. And let's see, they're all on target, but just a little bit right, a little bit high. That one's kind of just off. Let's just assume this is kind of where I was going. A little bit high, a little bit right. You know, this is a smaller revolver and has smaller revolver problems. You know, when you put a full grip on here, there isn't a whole lot of space for your left hand to go. And when I was shooting those 357 Magnum loads, the gun would just go like this. And I was trying to get a grip on it, but my left hand can't do all that much. The idea of modern shooting is you have your left hand in as much as you can, and if you're gripping this with a normal grip, there isn't a lot of place to put your left hand. And using a kind of modern, using kind of revolver style hold, where you try to keep your thumbs down to keep your thumbs away from the cylinder gap. If I do this and then start to pull the trigger, then my finger kind of gets into pressing up against my thumb. And now I'm kind of fighting my own thumb. So it's a smaller revolver with smaller revolver problems. I'm just so accustomed to big, hefty Ruger GP100s, Raging Bulls, Taurus Raging Bulls, Colt single action armies, that something smaller like this, even with the grip that is relatively big, they're difficult to shoot. So there is a point of saying, hey, maybe it's not the gun so much, maybe it's me. Sometimes you have to admit, maybe you suck. However, I still think that all my criticisms of the Ruger GP100 before are still valid, and I guess maybe even more justified. Maybe if Ruger put better grips on their revolvers, it'd be easier to shoot. The Ruger GP100s come with grips like this. Why aren't they doing that for this gun? But again, still all my criticisms are still valid. The machining is not that great. Parts are cast instead of milled. Sights are still not adjustable. They're still a little bit low. Most of the time shoots low. So while these grips do improve the gun, and I think this is a recommended upgrade, this is like $30, $40, well worth it. I still am not a big fan of this Ruger GP100. I think I just want a big old hunkin' Smith & Wesson 686 or Smith & Wesson 627, one of those big, whatever those letter frames are, K frame, N frame, whatever those big revolvers are. I still think this is a compromise gun, that it's a gun that's too big for concealed carry and yet too small to really be a really good targeted recreation gun. However, the Hogue grips do what they're supposed to, and they do a good job. So I think that's just about going to do it. This is Steven from the Even Steven channel. Please do all that like, sharing, and subscribing. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.